What's up guys, Galaxy King here, and in this video I've got my Mayakashi Eldlich deck. I feel like Mayakashi is very often overlooked in Yu-Gi-Oh! And Mayakashi do have some cards that interact very well with Eldlich, and Eldlich has a lot of cards that interact very nicely with Mayakashis. So in this video I'm going to go over where they have a lot of consistency with each other and how they can be used. So let's go on to the deck profile. For the main heart and soul of the deck, Triple Eldlich Golden Lord. Just a really powerful card. It helps get rid of opponents' problematic monsters, and also helps get your Eldlich Spell and Trap cards and also Golden Land Spell and Trap cards into the graveyard, so you can use their effects to set another Golden Land Spell and Trap card or an Eldlich Spell and Trap card from your deck. It's really powerful and it does come in handy, and this can be searched and it can be sent to the graveyard from your deck by another Mayakashi monster, which I'll get to in a minute. So that's sort of where this deck and Mayakashi sort of have that consistency. There's also a lot more consistency, which I'll get to a little bit later, but we do have another Mayakashi which can send it to the graveyard, which I think helps the deck speed up, and Eldlich Golden Lord is just a really powerful card overall, so triple of this, I think that's really needed. For your Mayakashi monsters, triple Hygiene the Winged Mayakashi, 1 Darky the Graceful Mayakashi, and 2 Yuki Masoon the Ice Mayakashi. These are the only Mayakashi monsters that you play in this deck. I'm going to go over the ratios and why I think they're really good. Hygiene can search out any of these when it's normal special summoned. So if you normal it, you can special summon Darky, or if you want, you can go for Yuki Masoon. And Darky is a really powerful zombie tuner, and because it has 0 defense, it can be searched out with Shunari Solitaire, which I think is really nice. Also, when it's in the graveyard and you special summon a Mayakashi monster from your extra deck, it can special summon itself from the graveyard, and that is not a once per turn, so you can keep climbing the synchro ladder as quickly as possible, and it's just a really powerful card overall. And then Yuki Masoon is also a really powerful card because if it's in your hand or graveyard and you control a Mayakashi monster, you can special summon it and then send any zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. So in this deck, it can help send your Eldlich the Golden Lord from your deck to the graveyard, which can help speed the deck up so you can add it to your hand and then special summon it to your field. And they are all searchable with Mayakashi Return, which is a spell card which I'll get to in just a few minutes. But these ratios I think are really good. Again, Darky, not a once per turn. Hygiene can search all of them, and Yuki Masoon can also send Darky and Eldlich the Golden Lord, so you can set up for your plays later on. And they're just really powerful. If you want to play 2 Darky, you can, because there are some situations where you open up in your hand and Hygiene can only special summon Mayakashis from your deck. But you do have another spell card, again, which can search them. So if you open up with Hygiene and Yuki Masoon or Mayakashi Return, you can normal summon this, special Darky from your deck, and then use Mayakashi Return to search Yuki Masoon, which will then special summon itself. So I think that's really good. Again, you can mix around for the ratios of this engine as you like. If you want to play 2 Darky, you can. If you want to play 3 Yuki Masoon, you might consider that. But for the moment, I feel like these ratios are fine. So that's it for the Mayakashi cards. Sorry, Mayakashi monsters. I feel like the Mayakashi engine is very overlooked in a lot of decks, mostly because using either of them locks you into Mayakashi extra deck monsters, which is really annoying. But I do think they should be worth considering a lot more because of how quickly they can help speed a deck up. Again, Yuki Masoon can send any zombie monster. So in a normal zombie deck, you could send something like Glow Up Bloom, Necrod Banshee, or Doom King Balladrock. So it's a really powerful card, and I think it should be considered a lot more. So that's it for the Mayakashi monsters. And then for one-off zombie monster, 1 Soul Absorbing Bone Tower. If you're playing the Mayakashi engine, then it's sort of inevitable that you're playing at least one of this, because it's a very powerful card. It can help send, well, not help send, it does send cards from the opponent's deck to the graveyard every time you special summon a zombie. So with Darky and the way it can keep bringing itself back from the graveyard can really help with that. And it's not a guaranteed FTK. At best, you're going to be sending 20 or more cards from the opponent's deck to the graveyard, which can get rid of a lot of their resources. And if you end on your Link 4 Mayakashi, that can help as well. But this card, again, it's searchable with Yuki Masoon because it can send it to the graveyard, and then you've got your Eldlich spell cards which can special summon it. And overall, I think just playing one is fine. I don't think you'd want to play more than that because FTKs are often looked down upon in Yu-Gi-Oh! But as a one-off, I think it's fine, and it's not guaranteed that you're going to FTK the opponent. But if you can FTK the opponent, that's good, you've won a game there, but as a one-off, I think it's just fine the way it is. For hand traps, Triple Ash Blossom, just a really powerful hand trap overall. For your spells, Triple Mayakashi Return, really powerful card, suches out your Mayakashis, and also it can send them to the graveyard, which is really amazing. It's a reinforcement of the army and a Foolish Burial in one. It's a hard once per turn, unfortunately, but it does help speed the deck up. So again, if you normal summon Hygiene, you can special summon Darky from your deck, and then use Mayakashi Return to search out Yuki Masoon, which will then special summon itself, and then send Eldlich the Golden Lord from your deck to the graveyard. So that's really useful. Triple of it is mandatory because it helps get into your resources, and the Mayakashi engine can speed this deck up a lot. So Triple Return, I think that's absolutely amazing for a card. For your Eldlich spells, Triple Eldlich of Black Awakening and 2 White Destiny. They're very similar. Black Awakening special summons a zombie from your hand or deck, but if you don't control Eldlich the Golden Lord, it has to be Eldlich the Golden Lord that you're summoning. If you do control Eldlich the Golden Lord, you can special summon any zombie from your deck, which is really amazing. Same thing for White Destiny, only special summons from your hand or graveyard, and also you can banish them from the graveyard to set a Golden Land spell or trap card from your deck to the field. So they're really good cards. I've seen a lot of people mixing onto the ratios of White Destiny. I like playing it at 2 because I don't want to run out of resources while I'm playing, and also it helps special summon your Mayakashi Synchros from the graveyard. And because they're pretty much vanillas when they hit the field, when they're Synchro summoned, they usually just get their effects off when they're special summoned from the graveyard, which is why you want White Destiny. So, and because it's quick play, you can use it on the opponent's turn, and then you've got the Mayakashi Synchros do have some interesting effects when they're special summoned from the graveyard. You've got a level 9 which can destroy a monster on the field, which can help. But the Eldlich spells, these ratios, I think they're fine. If you want to play one more of this or one less, that's fine, because I know some people do play one of this. They do mix around with the ratios, but I like it at 2 just because the Mayakashis, they want to be summoned from the graveyard, which is why I play 2 of this. Black Awakening is still really powerful as well, and they also help summon Soul Absorbing Bone Tower. So if you want to go for an FTK, you can, but as I said, it's not guaranteed that you're going to FTK the opponent that way. But these ratios, I think they're absolutely fine. Then Triple Cursed Eldland, really powerful cards, helps search out your Golden Land spell trap cards or your Eldlich monsters by paying 800 life points. So it's a really good card, and also when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send 1 Eldlich monster or 1 Golden Land spell or trap card from your deck to the graveyard. So with Eldlich the Golden Lord, you can use this effect to send it to the graveyard and a spell or trap card to destroy it, and then you get its effect off to send a Golden Land spell or trap card from your deck to the graveyard. So it's a really powerful card. It helps get into resources and helps speed the deck up. It's not searchable, unfortunately, which is annoying, but playing 3 of this is absolutely mandatory because, again, it's a reinforcement of the army and Force Burial for Eldlich, which is really nice. So 3 of this, absolutely mandatory. For your one-off cards, 1 Upstart Goblin and 1 Foolish Burial. I have Upstart in here just for draw power and consistency, and Foolish Burial just to send Eldlich the Golden Lord and you can assume to the graveyard, but also Soul Absorbing Bone Tower just helps speed the deck up. So that's it for your one-offs. I'm going to move on to the traps now. For your traps, Triple Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine, basically same as Eldlich of Black Awakening and White Destiny, only special summons from your deck and graveyard, which is really nice. Again, same exact effect as your other Eldlich cards. If you don't control Eldlich the Golden Lord, you have to special summon Eldlich the Golden Lord, and you banish it from the graveyard, set a Golden Land spell or trap card. So really powerful card. You definitely want to see it as much as possible because, as I keep saying, Mayakashis don't want to be special summoned from the graveyard, and also it helps summon your Eldlich monsters as well. So triple of that I think is absolutely mandatory to play. For your Golden Land cards, triple Conquistador of the Golden Land, 2 Hakiro of the Golden Land, and 1 Guardian of the Golden Land. Conquistador helps destroy a monster on the field when it's summoned. Hakiro is a DD Crow, and Guardian can make one monster on the field 0 attack. So Conquistador can help get rid of problematic monsters that you don't want to have to deal with, and then Hakiro just banishes anything from the graveyard so the opponent can't use it, and then Guardian helps reduce a monster to 0 attack so you can get over it quickly and helps push for damage. And you can banish any of these from the graveyard to set an Eldlich spell or trap card from your deck to the field, which is really nice since all the Eldlich cards, all the Eldlich and Golden Land spell and trap cards flow into each other, which I really like in this deck. I like having that ability to just search anything and just have that sort of, just to give a deck some sort of fluidity, if that makes any sense. So I really like these ratios, I really like these cards. If you want to mix around with the ratios of this, you can, but the ratios of these I found worked the best. So triple Conquistador just to get rid of monsters, 2 Hakiro just to act as a DD Crow, and 1 Guardian to help push for damage and go over monsters. So that's it for the Golden Land sort of trap card monsters. And then 2 Golden Land Forever, just an Omni negate if you control an Eldlich monster. By tributing a zombie monster, you can negate anything, which is really nice. I really like playing it at 2. And then for your last trap card, triple Infinite Impermanence, just a really powerful card overall, and it's basically an effect veiler, which is really nice. You can activate it from your hand. And a funny story about this card is first tournament back in 2020, I bought 1 box of Dual Overload, just 1, and I managed to get a playset of Infinite Impermanence. That was absolutely amazing. 1 box and I got a playset of Infinite Impermanence. I love that. That was absolutely amazing. Oh, no. Triple Infinite Impermanence, really powerful card. That's it for the main deck. I'm going to go on to the extra deck now. For the extra deck, you've mostly got a lot of Mayakashi Synchro monsters because, as I said, if you use any of the Mayakashi monsters in the main deck, if you use either of their effects, you'll opt into Mayakashi monsters from this deck for the rest of the turn, which can be very annoying, but I'm going to go over them and go over where they have some consistency with the Eldlich cards. And I'm probably going to butcher a lot of their names, so I'm sorry about that. But you have 2 Gashadoro and 2 Yoko, 2 Tengu, 2 Tutsunekro, I think I'm pronouncing that right, and then 2 Oborogoro. They're basically, the idea behind the Mayakashi Synchros is you want to Synchro climb as fast as possible, so you use Hyjun and Darky to go into your level 3, and then Darky will bring itself back, you go into your level 5, again Darky, bring it back, go into Tengu, bring Darky back, go into Yoko, bring Darky back, go into your level 11, and then you link summon. So when they're synchro summoned, they're all vanillas, they don't do anything apart from just exist. But when they're special summoned from the graveyard, that's when they get their effects off, and they all have ways of special summoning themselves from the graveyard, which is really nice. Basically, the level 11, I'm not going to try and pronounce their names, it'll just be annoying. The level 11, when a link monster you control is destroyed, you banish a zombie from the graveyard and special summon it, and then it's unaffected by card effects for the turn, which on a monster with 3300 attack, it's fairly decent but not the best, but it can be useful in certain situations. Yoko, when your level 11 is destroyed, exact same thing, you banish a zombie from the graveyard, special summon it, and then when it's special summoned from the graveyard, you destroy 1 monster on the field. So it's a good interaction, and also it doesn't matter how they're summoned from the graveyard as long as they are, so you can use your Eldlich spell cards to bring them back, which is really nice. You don't have to rely on just summoning them using their normal summoning conditions. And then Tengu, when it's special from the graveyard, you can destroy one spell or trap card on the field, which can be useful depending on your matchup. And then the level 5, you can both players send the top 3 cards of the deck to the graveyard, which, depending on what you send from your opponent's deck, can be really useful. They might need something like if they were top decking and you send the top 3 cards of their deck to the graveyard and you got rid of something that they really needed, that can be really fun. And then the level 3, basically monsters you control can't be destroyed by battle for the rest of the turn. So Tengu and Yoko, probably the better out of them because they offer some form of disruption on the opponent's turn by special summoning them. So if you use White Destiny, which is a quick play, you can special summon Yoko, and then you can use your Scarlet Sanguine to special summon Tengu. And then you've got a Link 4, which can also have some form of interaction when they're special summoned from the graveyard, and also when your opponent special summons something from the graveyard, which is really nice. So these ratios, I think, are ideal. So you can go into them twice, and with Soul Absorbing Bone Tower, just synchro climbing as fast as possible can help push for that FTK. But as I said before, you're most likely not guaranteed to FTK them, but you know, just sending 20 to 30 cards of the opponent's deck can be really amazing and can really help push for your win. So these Mayakashi synchros, I think the ratio is fine. Again, Yuki and Tengu, the better out of them. I would like to see a new one maybe in the future, or maybe a Link 3 Mayakashi, but only the future will tell. But I would like to see them get some form of support in the future. So that's it for the Mayakashi synchros. I'm going to go on to the rest of the extra deck now. For the rest of the extra deck, one Event Dread Savior just helps send your Eldlich Golden Lord to the graveyard so I can get over some annoying cards. So when you send Eldlich, your opponent's monster will lose 2,000 attack points because of Event Dread Savior's effect. That opponent's monster loses a 200 attack for times its level, which is really nice. I like that. It helps get over annoying monsters, so it can really help push for game, and also it helps send your Eldlich to the graveyard. So just one Event Dread Savior, I think that's fine. And then 2 Yuki-Onna, the Ice Mayakashi. You don't really want to see this on the field for too long because you just use it for your Soul Absorbing Bone Towers FTK and to go into your Link 4. But its effect reads, while this card points to a synchro monster, your opponent can't target this card for attacks. And also when a synchro monster you control is destroyed by a battle card effect, you can target one monster on the field. Its attack and defense become half of what it already is. So not the best, but it is useful in certain situations just for your FTK with Soul Absorbing Bone Tower and just to go into your Link 4, and also good for your level 11, so when this is destroyed you can summon the level 11, which is really nice. And then 1 Yuki-Onna, the Absolute Zero Mayakashi. This is a good card to play in this deck because basically your opponent's monsters that are banished, it negates the effects of monsters that are banished. So if your opponent would try to banish something to activate its effect, it can't. And also twice per turn, when a monster is special summoned from the graveyard, or when a monster effect is activated in the graveyard, you can make one monster on the field. You can negate the effects of one monster on the field and then make its attack 0, and that's twice per turn. So if you use one of your Elixir spell or trap cards to bring back another Mayakashi like Yoko, you can destroy a monster the opponent controls and negate another monster's effect and make its attack 0. Same thing with Eldlich the Golden Lord. Sorry, no, not Eldlich the Golden Lord, that's special summons from your hand, sorry about that. But any zombie that special summons itself from the graveyard in this deck, or any monster that activates in the graveyard, Yuki-Onna is very powerful and you want to end on that the majority of the time. So only one of that because it can be annoying to summon sometimes, but as a one-off I think it's absolutely amazing and it's just an amazing interaction to have. So just one of that. So that's it for the Link monsters. For the last monster I'm playing in this deck, 1 Super Dreadnought Rockhead and Guster Max. just helps burn for 2000. Actually no, it doesn't help, it does. If you have 2 Eldritch Golden Lord, go into it and then burn for 2000. Could help push the game, and it could help you win game as well. And just a really powerful card to have overall. And that's it for my Mayakashi Eldlich deck. Please let me know what you thought of the deck. I do think this deck has a lot of potential as a powerful Eldritch variant. It's definitely something that goes overlooked, and I think it can surprise a lot of players. And it's a variant that I'm very fond of because of how it interacts with Eldlich and how Eldlich interacts with Mayakashi. So I think it could very well have some very powerful potential. So again, let me know what you thought of this Eldritch variant, and if there's an Eldritch variant you'd like to see that hasn't potentially been done before, please let me know and I'll try my best to make it. And also like the video if you enjoyed seeing Sans the Skeleton in this video. And if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing for more videos, and as always I'll talk to you all in the next video. Take care.